If you are a working American, then you know that tax day is coming on April 15th. And trust me, I know tax day is a whole thing. You have to dig up all this paperwork, figure out if you can write off Bumble dates as business dinners, and fuck around with TurboTax for an entire weekend. And at some point, you've probably wondered to yourself, what would happen if you just didn't pay your taxes, but then wound up paying them in the end because of some vague feeling that something bad would probably happen to you if you didn't? Well, here we are again, friends. I'm here to explain what's likely to happen when you decide to commit tax evasion. Because fuck it, it's my money and I need it now. I don't know if we're actually allowed to say that. That's like a catchphrase. It's my money and I need it now. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, you're thinking about committing a crime. All those episodes of Scared Straight featuring kids crying while large felons scream at them hasn't got you worried one bit. You don't want to pay your taxes, and I get it, no one does. And apparently rich people get to not pay them all the time, and then they can become president and shit like that and no one says anything. But what actually happens if a regular person like you or me doesn't pay their taxes? And it's pretty simple actually. As long as you don't owe the government millions of dollars, the IRS is pretty chill about it, if you pay something toward your tab. If you don't pay anything, they can turn into real dicks real quick. Before we get started, let's make two things clear though. There is a slight difference between failure to file and failure to pay once you've filed. The one thing to note is that the fees that they charge you are worse when you don't file altogether. And the fees are always what come first. Within the first month, you're going to get hit with financial penalties. And after that first month, you'll start to get letters from the IRS like, "Sup, we noticed you haven't paid your taxes. Where is my money?" And let's say you ignore those, because who the hell checks their mail anymore anyways? At around the 2-month mark, you're going to start getting phone calls. This is also about the time when they may start the process of placing a lien on your house or any owned assets like stocks. The government has a claim over them and will seize all or most of the money you receive in that sale, unless you pay them what you owe them first. And in these 2 short months, your credit score is going down like Mary J in the 90s. But let's be real, you probably don't own a home or any actual financial assets. Don't worry, the IRS still has plenty of ways to get what you owe. Beginning at the 3-month mark, they might send a tax collector to your house. That's right, tax collectors exist and they will come knocking on your door if you're not answering the phone or responding to those letters. The thing is, they can't actually do much other than knock on your door and ask where their money is, like some sort of godless Jehovah's Witness. But let's say you're ducking the tax collector. Let's say you're using a burner phone and you're hiding in the closet anytime anyone comes to your house. Month 3 is also when they could issue a levy, aka they're just gonna start taking your stuff. And this could range from taking some or all of the money in your paychecks to reaching into your bank account and just pulling out cash, or even repossessing your car and selling it at auction. And if the phone calls, the house calls, your paychecks being garnished, the lien on your home, or the asset levy wasn't bad enough, somewhere between month 3 and month 6, the IRS could tell the State Department to revoke your passport or not issue you one at all, so you can't flee the country. They can even take it a step further and revoke your Social Security. If after all of this you've managed to keep your car from being sold, dealt with your credit score being as low as your shoe size, have somehow kept money in your bank account and managed to get paid in cash, then the IRS will report your case to their Criminal Investigation Division, and they might just come arrest you. And even then, they really just want the money and typically won't pursue criminal prosecution if you can pay back all or even some of what you owe or get on a repayment plan. Listen, not paying back that couple of $1,000s that you owe the government is going to tax your sanity way more than it's going to tax your bank account. It honestly just isn't worth it. But if you're still considering not paying or not filing your taxes altogether, you might want to take a look at this photo of Ja Rule when he was sentenced to 28 months in jail for tax evasion back in 2011. And then ask yourself, do you really want to end up like Ja Rule? What was that tweet? What did he say? I too was bamboozled, led astray, lied to. Do you want to end up like that? What would your mother say?